Zippy? No, kicking in the kneecap. See what I'm talking about? I ain't even making look, 9 seconds into the video.
I mean, it's a pretty fair amount of time.
I'm putting that in the video. That voice you just did is going right in here.
I don't really care, man.
Good.
Actually, my voice, I am not insecure.
Yo, I'm an ashy. Look how ashy. Bad.
You go pick your sweater, bro.
I was gonna say I'm great at this? Yeah, 5.
You look like a demon.
I'm the only one here. I'm going.
Really? Really?
Yeah.
Don't make me push your weird button. I know exactly how to make you weird.
Wait,
Let's finish.
I have a button on me? Hey, man.
2 boxes of yellow rice. It's fine. I'm gonna put music over this anyway.
You're so funny, JJ.
Yeah,
You're
JJ.
so silly.
Yeah, JJ. You're so silly.
Quiet.
Quiet, you.
Quiet, you. Quiet, you.
I got candy in the blue box. But the candy in the blue box is for me.
No, it's for me.
It's my candy in the blue box.
Shut up. How about that? Shut up. How about that?
Ooh, they coming for you. You gonna let the little brothers disrespect you like that? Oh, he's throwing you like that. French toast for the baby. French toast for the baby.
Me?
Yeah, you. Yeah, the baby. Big box of waffles. Ha 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 ha. Things are funny. Oh, I am amused.
You crack me up.
Who cracked you up?
You feminine me up.
Sir, what? Why is it so out of focus? There we go. What? Yes, that. You know what? You make them stylish pair of glasses. Ice cream, you scream, we all scream for ice cream. Rah, rah. Oh my goddess.
Oh my gloves.
Oh my god.
Nanners.
Time slows down when you're around. Feel the rhythm of our hearts pound. In the quiet we find a groove. Lost in love, no need to move. It's a love, no need to move.
Do you feel better?
Yeah.
Oh my god, I know that feels so amazing.
Blankets under the sheets. Lost in the moment, in our own dream. In this lazy weekend, we're wild and free. Coffee stains on the table. Lazy kisses, we're unable to escape this cozy bubble where we're lost in each other's troubles. Time slows down when you're around. Feel the rhythm of our hearts pound. In the quiet we find a groove. Lost in love, no need to move. It's a love, no need to move. It's a lazy weekend, just you and me, wrapped up in pink blankets under the sheets, lost in the moment, in our own dream. In this lazy weekend, we're wild and free. Lazy weekend. It's a lazy weekend.
Sails the water.
4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
Welcome back to my channel. I'm Petra. Today I'm going to discuss why I started homeschooling my kids. So I have 4 kids. JJ, my oldest, is 15. Jade, my second and my only girl, is 13. Lucas James, third, he's going to be 11 in literally a couple weeks. And Nicholas Elias is 4. Now, all 3 of my older kids went through kindergarten to 4th grade. Well, that's the last grade that they were all, well, that was the last grade that Lucas James was in before I pulled him out. Okay, so JJ went from preschool through 8th grade. Jade went through kindergarten to 6th grade, and Lucas James went from preschool to 4th grade. Nicholas Elias has never been in a school. Now, from the very beginning, when they first started school, they were all excited, make friends, and all of them had the same end result. They hated it. They hated the teachers. They hated the system, the structure. They hated not being listened to and being spoken down to. There was always an issue with certain teachers because they all went to the same school, elementary school. They all went to the same intermediate school. So they all almost had all the same teachers. None of them liked the kindergarten teacher. None of them liked their 1st grade teacher. None of them liked their 2nd grade teacher. All of them liked their 3rd grade teacher. So I don't feel like that's a coincidence, and especially considering I went to all the parent-teacher conferences, all the concerts, every school event. I was there. I chaperoned trips. I was there. So they knew my face. They knew our name because we were literally the only ones in the school with that last name. And every year we started, they were like, oh yeah, I had your siblings. So they knew who we were. So I feel like it was already an initial dislike for our family. And then the only teachers they all liked were their art teacher, their music teacher, and their 3rd grade teachers. But they all only had one 3rd grade teacher in common, because in the school, well, in the elementary schools in my town, the 3rd grade teachers were split in 2. So from kindergarten to 2nd grade, they all had one main teacher. But in 3rd grade, they had 2 main teachers. And they all had the same 2nd main teacher, but not the same 1st main teacher. So when JJ got to intermediate school, his 1st year, the 4th grade, he absolutely loved it because it turns out that 2nd main teacher was married to the art teacher from the other school. So we already had an initial bond with that family and those 2 teachers. We were cool with them. Then he went to 5th grade, and his 2nd teacher in the 5th grade physically assaulted him. So there was this big incident where these mean girls were talking about me, and he was defending me, and the teacher was sitting right there. He heard the entire thing. And JJ became angry, rightfully, because people are speaking about his mother. And I had taught him many times, count to 10 if you're feeling angry, and if the anger still won't dissipate, if you still feel like your anger is building, walk away. So he became angry, He tried to stop. He told him to stop. He asked him repeatedly to stop. The teacher never intervened the whole time the girls were talking. The teacher never intervened. There was witnesses to this. It's not just my word or JJ's word. The other kids in the class said this. But when JJ got up to leave, the teacher grabbed him, picked him up, and dropped him onto the floor. And after that, JJ was sent into a counseling program, and nothing happened to the teacher. Granted, they took him out of the class, but nothing happened to the teacher. Now, everything in me, my West Indian background, growing up in New York, all I wanted to do was go to that school and punch that teacher in the throat, pick him up by the collar and slam him into the concrete floor, because you are literally almost 3 times the size of my son. Why are you picking him up and throwing him down on the ground? Nothing happened to those girls. No punishment, but my child was suspended. That was issue number 1. Then my other kids always complained about their teachers. They never felt comfortable, and they never felt like they were being heard. And there were other situations where kids were being mean to them, or a teacher was being mean to my children. I reported it. Now, I've saved all those emails. I reported it, and nothing was done. But the moment my kids did something, I was called. A second incident now. Lucas James was suspended for making fun of the way a kid was talking. But Lucas James had came to me several times and said that kid had bothered him, and I told, and so did he. Nothing happened to that child, but that child now cries because he's being made fun of, and Lucas James gets suspended. Now, I want to say this. You could say that I'm making it up or I'm reaching, but all these cases, the other kids were not black. The girls, they were mostly Spanish, and I think there were 2 black girls in that group. The boy, I believe, was Indian with Lucas James. Now, I'm not saying the kids are racist. I'm saying that the punishments that were dealt out by the adults, it only aimed at my children. Third incident, in 7th grade, the last week of school, these kids have been harassing JJ all year. Even to the point where they took his water bottle and used it as a basketball and kept throwing it in the hoop, and the gym teacher was laughing, and they broke it. Nobody replaced my child's water bottle. Nobody apologized. Nobody said anything. Nobody was punished. The same kids now wait till the last week of school. The biggest boy, this is all convenient that they're also friends with the same group of girls that harassed him back in the 5th grade, because they all go to the same schools. The biggest boy now trips JJ, sits on him, and starts hitting JJ. And JJ's hitting back because he's trying to defend himself. Only one person tried to help JJ, and it was his friend, who he's still friends with, tried to pull the boy off. Everybody else just recorded it. And yet, both of them were suspended. My child was attacked, was sat on, and was hit, but my child got suspended. Why? So I always wanted to homeschool them, but whenever I would look into it, it was like you have to pay like $2,000 for a certain program. There's 3 of them. At the time, it was 3 of them. And I'm like, so I'm supposed to pay for each program and then all the supplies they would need and other things and other programs. It was a lot. And then I was like trying to look into state restrictions, but I forgot what it's called. Is it HSLDA? Then I found a homeschooling group, a legal homeschooling group that provides you with information for each state. And if you were a member, they provide you with legal care and all that. And I found that I can homeschool them freely as long as I provided a letter. And then I found IXL and other programs that weren't $2,000 and all that. So as soon as I found these things, I signed them out immediately and I started homeschooling them. Now, downside to homeschooling them, they don't focus as hard as they did in school. I don't know if it's me or being around their siblings, or they feel like they don't have to try so hard because, you know, we're at home. My only issue is trying to get them to stay focused for long periods of time. They do the work. It's just, I feel like they don't try as hard. My second issue with homeschooling is I'm doing 4 different levels. I got a high schooler, a junior high schooler, and an intermediate who was now going to be in junior high himself, and a preschooler, because now JJ is supposed to be in 10th grade. Jade is supposed to be in 8th grade now. Lucas James is supposed to be in 6th grade, and of course Nicholas Elias is supposed to be in pre-K. So I want to give them each what they need on their grade levels, because JJ excels in math. He's excellent in math. Jade's really good in math. But he's not so good with English and language arts because he gets bored reading. And Jade is really good with science and language arts, English. And Lucas James was excelling in almost all subjects last year. So now I'm trying to find something for them to read, to focus on. I also want to teach them about women's history, of course, Black history. What I feel like is the correct information for Black history. I still want to give them the same basic structure of a public school, because I wanted to do like spelling words. I want to do science projects. I want to do papers because, you know, in college they'll have to do papers. But I didn't anticipate the amount of work I would have to put in for each grade level. It's not a problem. I just have to restructure my time for it. But for the most part, they work independently, and I just jump in here and there. And what I noticed, without me even having to ask, JJ has been helping them with their math, which is fine. And IXL provides them with a lot more. But the problem with IXL is if they accidentally put in the answer, they can't fix it. There have been times when they accidentally click something or whatever, or they intended to put something else and it changed, and it's just a big mark on it. And I feel like there should be more flexibility with the IXL program. I'm not saying, you know, let them cheat, like, oh, that was wrong, let me go back and put in the right answer. No, I feel like they should give them like a 3-strike kind of situation. Like, oh, I realized I put the wrong answer here, let me be able to go back and fix it. And that one question, like, just reprogram the situation. But yeah, I homeschooled my kids because they were treated unfairly by the other students and the teachers. Like, there was a lot of times where JJ was just minding his own business and the kids constantly mess with him. And then Jade rarely made friends, but Jade's more like me. She didn't like being in a large group. She's more like a person who likes 1 or 2 friends. So at lunch, she likes to sit by herself on her iPad, eat, and then get ready. She didn't like the constant noise of lunch. And the vice principal used to force her to leave the bathroom, which I thought was weird. So she'd be in the bathroom and the vice principal would come in the bathroom and tell her to go and sit at a table. Like, how did you know she was sitting? Why are you watching her that hard that you followed her into the bathroom and then made her sit in the crowded table with people she doesn't talk to? It kind of reminds me of the episode of Rory Gilmore where they told her she needs to socialize more, and then she got in trouble and she was like, I have a whole life in my town that you don't see. That's what it feels like. Lucas James, he couldn't balance having friends and focusing on school. He's really smart. All of them are really smart, and I'm not being biased. Like, I would say if my kids weren't academically talented, but He liked to focus on his friends more than he liked to focus on his schoolwork, which is not a problem in a general sense, but it made an issue with the teacher. I was constantly getting calls and emails that he was talking a lot in class, and I'm like, which this is bringing back to the socializing thing, because the kids get penalized for talking, but then when they don't talk, they get penalized for not socializing. There are times where they would come home and tell me, oh, they wouldn't let us go out to recess until everybody was quiet. And I'm like, you have the kids cooped up in a classroom all day telling them to be quiet and waiting, and then you send them to lunch. That's supposed to be their break, their free time, and you punish them for doing the very thing they're supposed to do at their lunchtime, and then refuse to give them their recess. And then when they're acting up at the rest of the day, you punish them. Oh, and the other thing that's ridiculous, if one child misbehaves, they punish the whole class or the whole grade. There was this one kid who kept banging on the wall, and the whole 4th grade was not allowed to go to recess because one kid was banging on the wall. You gave him exactly what he wanted. He wanted attention, and he wanted to do something negative, and he's not going to care the other kids are not going to get to play. He got what he wanted. The whole school system is asinine and stupid, and I don't know. I can understand why my kids hated the school. I hated school. Now, not to say I hate school. I shouldn't say that. I hated the teachers and the other students. School in general, for me, I liked studying. Well, I never studied. I should say I like learning new things. Studying wasn't something I was accustomed to. I saw the thing on the board. I heard the teacher say it. I saw it in a textbook. I passed. I never sat down and studied. That was like a foreign thing. That was after I had my kids that I learned to study when I was at a dental assisting program to memorize the vocabulary words. But before that, I never really had to study. But I enjoyed learning new things. I love science and history and English. Those were my favorites, of course. And I never had an issue with doing schoolwork. It was the people that were the issue, and my kids were having the same issue. And it's always the people ruining things because they don't like you keeping to yourself. Why do you feel like you can't interact with us? And it's just like, you don't get along with me, I don't get along with you. Why force it? Why talk just for the sake of talking? It's the same thing, and that's another issue I had. The parents at the school, they always had an issue because I didn't want to talk to them. But I can't have 25 million conversations about the weather a day. Like, no thank you. And then there's this thing about me where people feel like they can trauma dump. People will tell me the craziest things, and I'm just like, hi, I'm Petra. Nice to meet you, and you're giving me your whole life story and why. But I just didn't make any friends with the parents, and I feel like they thought I was better or something, or I had an attitude. I was just like, come on, I'm up at like the butt crack of dawn to get all my kids breakfast, to get them all showered, to get all their supplies, rushing to like 3 different schools. Then I gotta deal with my own life, my toddler, or whatever was going on. It was not in my mind to stop and talk. And then after school, it's not in my mind to stop and talk because now I just want to pick up my kid and dip and go and make dinner and all this stuff. And oh my God, pickups and drop-offs were the worst because no one was ever willing to let somebody go. There was no, here you go and whatever. And people, there'll be literal yellow lines and cones and teachers saying you can't park here, and of course I would park in the last spot, and there was always be somebody who come and park right here. And so then I would get my kids who always came out first, and now I'm stuck behind this car waiting, and then I gotta rush through that traffic to drive from my house to the kids' school with no traffic, 3 minutes on a regular work day with other parents, 25 minutes. So that's why I like to just rush out. But yeah, I don't have to do that no more. But I hated everything about their schools. They hated everything about their schools. They asked to be homeschooled. I wanted to homeschool. And then when we got a taste of it, when the pandemic happened, we all realized it would be better and more beneficial for our family to homeschool. We don't homeschool for religious reasons. We homeschool because it fits better with the way we think, we move, and we learn. My kids are a lot happier. They used to get in the car and not really talk. The only time they had a really good day is if there was like a party or something. Or they'd get in the car in the morning and say they don't want to go. The only time they had fun was when they saw their orchestra teacher, because JJ plays the violin, Jade plays the viola, and Lucas James plays the cello. They love their orchestra teacher. They love their art teacher. They did not like the other teachers. They did not like the principal. They did not like the vice principal. I mean, the kids, and that's how another thing, that's how I knew the parents were having an issue with me, because kids will show an adult the level of respect their own parents were showing. So I know the parents were talking shit about me because the kids had an attitude with me. There was another time where we were really friendly with this kid who used to come out, he would say hi to us, and I remember actually defending his grandmother because a woman basically wanted to lunge at her for cutting her off in the loop, but she had parked the wrong place and the lady went in front of her. And not only that, the lady is an old lady. She had a whole cane. She could barely walk. Why are you yelling at an old lady with a cane? Anyway, one day this boy just spit on JJ. No reason, no rhyme or reason, just spit on him. Another time, another parent, all these parking spots like this. All these parking spots, right? All these spots here. I parked here. This parked right on me. I couldn't even open my door. I literally could not open my door. If I had opened my door, he would have claimed that I chipped his paint. That turned into a whole argument. That caused beef with him and two other dads who were friendly with him. I almost punched his dad. The thing is with me, people think they see my face, I'm really nice and sweet. I'm honestly only sweet and nice to people I know and that I like. Everybody else, you're gonna get a whole different side of me. So yeah, he was under the wrong impression, and he learned that day and every day after that. And he thought he was gonna bully me, and at the time that was my ex-husband was still there, so he came to the school. He shut up when I started yelling back, but he was still when he pulled off, he still kept making little comments. But when my ex-husband showed up, ex-husband who was 3 times his size, he fully fell back. He would just give me dirty looks, and they were whisper, but he didn't say shit to me no more. So my kids were being bothered. I was being bothered. There was just no point of us going to that school anymore. Everything was just always wrong. So now we homeschool. The kids are happier, and that's what's important. And I'm learning as I go with each kid. JJ's gonna be done in no time. He's really good when he wants to focus. I feel like Jade will be done pretty early too, and they could take online courses, online college courses. The only ones I really have to focus on is Nicholas and Lucas James. Because sometimes when I'm teaching Jade, I don't feel like she fully understands my explanations. So I need to find more videos and stuff to break down what she needs. But so far they're all doing really great. They all did great on IXL. They handed in 3 reports for the year. They had about 3 spelling tests. We didn't do any science projects this year. We're going to do it next year. And they honestly didn't complain. The only thing they're complaining about is still waking up early. And I'm like, well, I still got to do stuff. So I can't really like let you sleep until 2 o'clock in the afternoon and do work. And then I'm trying to do stuff. Because I still have my own schedule. I still got to cook, clean, make my content, write. I got, and make my script for my podcast. It's a whole thing. But yeah, no. Now I'm just gonna sit here and try to come up with basic lesson plans for each one of them. Goals I want to reach. I'm gonna say quarterly, because this year we started in September. But no, last year we started in September, but this time we're going to start in August. And I'm thinking about, and what I would do was every other week they had Friday off. So now I'm thinking that I'm going to do 2 months or 3 months and then a week or 2 off, like a cycle of that, and continue the every other Friday off. That's not, because that was an issue for me in school. Like, I had excelled for so long in the same subjects, because I always felt like I was repeating classes, that by the time junior year came and then I got into college and then I was told I couldn't go to the college, I was already burnt out with high school and learning the same thing, and I just didn't want to go anymore. So I don't want them to be burnt out. So I'm trying to maximize the small time windows I'm creating, but also minimize overworking them by giving them more breaks. So if that makes sense, like I'm not gonna just straight through September to June like they do in school. I want to give them more breaks, but hopefully this year is better. I'm hoping by the end of the year we move, so there's more flexibility for them. And now I really have to buckle down with Nicholas, because I did it with all of them. The first 4 years I teach all of them the basics, but I'm finding it harder to get Nicholas to learn the basics. He learns it and then forgets it. So now I'm working on that. But yeah, I'm gonna make the lesson plan, and then I'm gonna cook dinner and do the laundry.
I'm feeling high. I'm feeling high.
So for this dinner, I made pork chops, pesto gnocchi, and peas. And of course, Nicholas didn't have any meat. I gave him a little bit of the gnocchi and then mostly pasta, leftover pasta. For the second dinner, I'm making chicken parmesan, and of course, as always, I forgot something when I went grocery shopping, which was the breadcrumbs. And then I found this video on YouTube where the guy made it without breadcrumbs, and he actually coated it with the parmesan in the egg instead of just sprinkling on top, and it was much better than the breadcrumbs. So I'm gonna be making it like that from now on, and I'm also gonna have the video on a playlist at the end of this video. But yeah, it was really good. The kids loved it, and I'm definitely making it again. Yeah, I didn't realize I had that many pieces, but yeah, I had to move the broccoli and cauliflower into another dish and use that one for the second batch. But yeah, look at how golden brown they are with the Parmesan egg coating. It just looks so much better. Yeah, terrible camera work, but yeah, that's the end result.
Hello.
For this dinner, I did a pancake battered zucchini. I did a similar pancake battered zucchini a couple of videos ago, if I remember correctly, but the only difference is I made the batter thicker this time. added salt and brown sugar, and it was much better. It came out a lot crispier and more flavorful. So yeah, I made it with potatoes and jerk salmon on the side, and the sweetness of the pancake battered zucchini with the spice and saltiness of the jerk seasoning on the salmon was so good cooked together. It was so good. The sweet and savory was really good. So I'm definitely making that again. I forgot. Another difference I did was add an egg to the batter this time. for the last dinner, I made chickpeas with spinach and onions and white rice and stewed beef. And the chickpeas and onions and spinach is something I would love to make regularly, like for a lunch, but I decided to make it for a side. So, usually I just eat it, but I wanted the kids to have more fiber and greens, so I made it for a dinner, and I liked it a lot. I mean, JJ tore it up. JJ always tears up everything I make, and Jade loved it. And I feel like what really made it was the spicy honey and the black garlic. It gave it sweetness and depth, and it changed the usual flavor. I usually make it with like the sazon or the tahini, and this time I made it with more savory flavors and Italian seasoning. So it blended well with the and ground clover, and it blended well with the beef stew. So this was another first. I made all these different dishes, of course, different times, but this is the first time I've combined these flavors, and it went really well, and all the kids enjoyed it, and they asked for seconds. So if they ask for seconds, I know it's a winner.
Found the one, you should never give her up. I think it's the way life changes when in love, yeah. I surround my soul with the positivity. That's why I don't worry about the things that I don't see, yeah. These days I don't worry about much. I think we should have some more fun. I still dream about the days when we were young. I'll take a hit and still finish in one, yeah, yeah.
Thanks for watching. Until the next meal.